The Seahawks cannot let this game against the New Orleans Saints turn into last year's game against the New York Giants. They have to, and I mean have to, win this football game because it could be the reason why you make it into the postseason or why you don't make it in the postseason. I have 5 Seahawks that you need to watch here on Seahawks Today with your host, Will Ortner. But before I do that, I need to ask you, how confident are you in this Seahawks team? And I want you to scale, will they win, on a confidence meter from 1 to 12. 12 being they're going to win. I am not worried at all about the game, Will. I might not even watch. To 1, where you're saying, man, those New Orleans Saints, they are feisty. Maybe they find a way to get a W in Seattle. In fact, I think they definitely will get a W in Seattle. If you ask my opinion, I'm an 11 out of 12. I'm pretty darn confident that your Seahawks are getting the dub. Now we're going to dive into my watch list here. Byron Murphy is the number 1 player in my eyes that needs to perform for your Seattle Seahawks on Sunday, and I think that he will. We are finally seeing the Byron Murphy that we drafted. We are seeing the best defensive lineman that some scouts were saying was in that 2024 draft class. Byron Murphy has been absolutely on fire. He's in the backfield making plays through 2 weeks. He's one of your top tackle getters. 11 tackles from an interior defensive lineman is an insane statistic. That doesn't even go into the fact that he's already got more sacks than he had last year. That doesn't go into the fact that right now he's already tied with Micah Parsons for pressures, which is one of the top pressure numbers in the entire NFL this season. Yes, the tackle for loss number needs to get up, but right now, Byron Murphy, dude's a freaking war daddy. And if you don't know what a war daddy is, let me introduce you to what a war daddy is. It's a guy who cannot be blocked. In offensive line meeting rooms, a war daddy is someone that you circle, you focus on. You try and figure out if you need to double, if you need to triple team him on some plays. Because a war daddy completely changes a game for the team that the war daddy is on. He allows everybody else to fly around because they get one-on-one matchups. If Byron Murphy's taking on a double team at the nose guard, well, guess what? That means Leonard Williams has to be by himself. I like Leonard Williams when he's by himself. That means that DeMarcus Lawrence gets to be in a one-on-one matchup with the tackle. I like DeMarcus Lawrence one-on-one in a pass rush situation. Boye Mafe, that guy keeps dominating when it comes to his pass rush win rate. That's because of Byron Murphy taking on all the pressure on the interior defensive line. You need Byron Murphy to continue to play like the war daddy he is, and I think that he will for your Seattle Seahawks. He is going to have a massive game, and we're going to see one of the best 3-game stretches from a nose guard in Seattle Seahawks history. I'm not saying he's Cortez Kennedy. I might be saying he's Cortez Kennedy. Now, the next player that I want to talk about is Sam Darnold. Your quarterback has had, I'm going to say, an up and down first 2 games. Now, I would say there's more positives than negative when it comes to what Sam Darnold has been doing for this team. But I also think that there is plenty of room for improvement. There's already the conversation that people are talking about that should it have been Geno? Should it have been Sam? Some guys are saying Geno week 1, saying Sam week 2. I'm not going to get in that conversation. I'm going to make you wait a year or 2 before I decide who the real winner is. Weird. Someone has patience. But I'll tell you, if Sam wants to make sure that he's the winner of this signing, in my eyes, between Geno and Sam Darnold, he's got to find a way to turn the ball over less. He's got 3 turnovers already on the season, and one of them ended up being a big deal. Now, the other 2 didn't end up being complete game changers for you, but it's still not good to give other teams multiple opportunities to score and have those big momentum shifters. When we look at the turnovers that Darnold has had in the 2025 season, the big one that's going to jump out for everyone is the fumble. He's going back to pass against the 49ers, opens his arm up just like this. Hand gets hit on Abe Lucas's back, fumble. Nick Bosa gets the the ball. Can't have that happen. The first interception that he threw against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Jalen Ramsey, I don't want to absolutely kill him for it, but I really should. That interception was all his fault. Lead Cooper Kupp. He's running to the outside edge. Make sure that you hit him in a space where only he can catch the football. Didn't do it. The second interception, not entirely his fault. Cam Hayward is a beast. If Sam Darnold does not turn the football over against these New Orleans Saints, you're going to win this freaking football game. The New Orleans Saints have to find a way to turn Sam Darnold over, turn over the Seahawks in general, if they have a shot to win this football game. So just don't do it. Don't give them the opportunity to turn the ball over on you. And I think that less turnovers are going to start happening because we saw that in the Steelers game. In the second half, you know what Sam Darnold didn't do? He didn't turn the ball over. He made sure to hold on to the football. He made sure to do the right thing with the ball. Find the open receiver, and if it wasn't there, throw the football away. He didn't do that in the first half, and that's why that game was close. Game wasn't close in the second half because he didn't turn the ball over. I was very impressed with that. I got to get into the rest of my watch list, but before I do, we need to talk about today's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you could cash in. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. I was playing PrizePicks this weekend. I should have used the flex play option. I'm just saying. Right now, you can see the 3-pick power play that I cooked up for this Sunday. Jordan Love going up against the Cleveland Browns, more than 232.5 passing yards. Matthew Stafford, boo the Rams, boo Matthew Stafford, 245.5 passing yards, less. Sam Darnold, our Sam Darnold, 212.5 passing yards, more against the New Orleans Saints. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Now, my third player on our watch list is Charles Cross. I'm cheating when I do this. Charles Cross is going to be the guy that I have my eye on the most because of how well he has played this season. That being said, I am death staring this entire offensive line unit because they have a tall task this weekend. When you're going up against the New Orleans Saints, Cam Jordan has been making a killing at that defensive end his entire career. He's one of the all-time elite pass rushers, and there's good reason for it. He's earned that. Well, there's a kid, Granderson, that's out there who's been absolutely nails as well. He's got 3.5 sacks on the year already in week 2. This offensive line unit has been a gigantic step up from last year. They need to continue to play at the rate that they have been. Now, I will say, Charles Cross, you need to sign him and offer him that extension right now because every single day, the price of the brick goes up. He is that good. And not to quote The Wire here on a Seahawks channel, but goodness gracious, he deserves every penny. If this crew can continue to play the way that they have been, you will win this game, and you will win it easy. This offensive line, if they get their hand in the dirt, they're opening up holes for Kenneth Walker, for, fingers crossed, Zach Charbonnet at the time of this recording. He did miss last practice. Hopefully he'll be good to go. Maybe it's George Halani. That guy proved in the preseason that he can run. This offensive line gets that unit going, opens everything up for the run game. Well, then the play action pass is there. Maybe we can finally get America's badass a nice first down catch, his first catch as a true NFL player, Robbie Oots, out of the fullback position. But more importantly, it opens things up for Jackson Smith-Njigba. It opens things up for Cooper Kupp. It opens things up for everybody else, and it allows Sam Darnold to be comfortable in the pocket. If this offensive line specifically led, you might say, the tip of the spear with Charles Cross, if these guys can play the way we know they can, you're going to win on Sunday. It's going to be easy, and you'll be thinking about switching the channel back to NFL Red Zone or to our watch party because the game is over that quickly. I already brought up the run game. got to talk about Kenneth Walker, because right now, when you look at the injury report, I already mentioned it, Zach Charbonnet, hey, he's missing some time this week. Is he going to be able to, one, be healthy enough to play? Is he going to be out there? And if he's not, Kenneth Walker, show us that lightning can strike twice. Show us that you can build off your performance against Pittsburgh. Continue to make me eat crow. I was up here saying, hey, man, it should be Sharp all by himself. If you go out and you have another performance like you did against Pittsburgh, not only should it be a 2 running back, hey, interchange, maybe you should just be the feature back. Because right now, when you look at those stats, it doesn't give him enough justice of how well he played in that game. 8.5 or 8.1 yards per average is wrong, because in the second half, he was basically at 10 yards on average for every single touch that he had. Now, I did cheat a little bit in this, because 105 yards, 91 of which, I believe, might be 93, came on that left side right behind Charles Cross. You continue to run the football the way that Kenneth Walker did against Pittsburgh, you are going to win this football game against the New Orleans Saints, and you are not going to allow those defensive ends to get into their pass rush stances, which is huge. Kenneth Walker can take back over being the main back all by himself. It's what he was before this year, before his injury last year made him miss the last 6 or so games. Can he continue to prove me and all the other haters wrong? That he is exactly what he was his rookie year. That he just had some injury issues, and that those were a blip on the radar. Hey, he ended up missing a lot of time during training camp. Maybe he's back where he should be, where he needs to be, if he wants to be that running back one that everyone's been talking about, that he could be, that he was that first year when he was a rookie. Prove me wrong, Kenneth Walker. It makes me smile so much to be proven wrong by you. Anyone else? That's a frown, and I'd get mad. The last player that I got to talk about is someone that I haven't talked enough about, you haven't talked enough about, AC hasn't talked enough about, nobody's talked enough about Josh Jobe. He's been unbelievable at corner. No one can catch the football on him. He's not allowing receivers to get any open space. And frankly, at this point, the fact that we're not making comparisons to him and other greats in the NFL right now is a disservice to Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe came in as a player that, frankly, I was talking about, well, maybe he'll work his way in if there's an injury. Maybe he'll get some secondary time if some other guys are not performing up to snuff. And it would be easy if you were a casual fan, which if you're tuned into Seahawks Today, I know you're not, to say, well, he got in because of the injury report. Like, no Devon Witherspoon, dude's dealing with an MCL bruise, missed a lot of practice time. I get it. That makes sense why Josh Jobe's in. Or you could say, Nick Emmanwori's hurt too. So you have 2 injuries. Got to shuffle some things around. Got to make sure that you have the right corners in the right spots. But here's the thing. Despite how nervous I was with Josh Jobe being a starter, he has taken all of those nerves and made them go completely away. He already had an interception on the season. Very first game, makes a big-time play. I was standing up on the mountaintops after this game saying, in that first game, saying that Josh Jobe is a good corner. I'm now saying he's a great corner. If you got Devon Witherspoon back and Nick Emmanwori, he would still be out there starting. I don't know that it would be Reek Woolen that's starting. The way that Reek Woolen has looked this season, I would like to say he took a step up in that Pittsburgh game. But the 49ers game made me lose a lot of, let's say, trust in him. And he's slowly earning it back. Josh Jobe took the little trust I had in him, ran it, and now he's become one of my favorite players to watch. All the time when I see those PFF graphs that I still am a little confused on what everything means, when they say, hey, the good corner's in the top right, I always see Josh Jobe right over there in the top right. Although, it's probably over there in the top right. We're still working out our rights and lefts here on Seahawks Today. This is my watch list for this game. I think your Seattle Seahawks go out and dominate. It's because Byron Murphy, Sam Darnold, Charles Cross, Kenneth Walker, and Josh Jobe lead the way. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the guys are not going to step up and perform just the same way that these 5 are, according to my watch list. Let me know who you think is going to step up and have a big-time game for your Seattle Seahawks. It can be a player that has already popped and you think they're going to continue to pop, or it can be a player that you don't think has popped yet and is going to finally show us what they can do in the position that they are in. Make sure that you get that in the comments. I can't wait to see what you leave.